Alright, hey guys, we are just getting started here. The runners are about to get on their way. I just need to switch over to this for you guys. And yeah, I'm here today with, Kulian. Hello, guy. Hello, how are you doing? Um, Not sure if you hear me or not, but it looks like both of our guys are off and started. So yeah, welcome guys. This is round 2 of this tournament here for the Randomizer, for anybody who's just stopping in for the first time. I'm not sure if it's a problem on my end, but I can't hear Kulian for some reason. Not sure what that's all about. We have Neerrm heading in to pick up his first spell here. Yeah, that's Neerrm's music that I've got playing in the background here. Or do you hear other music on top of that? There shouldn't be other music playing. So Neerrm picks up the fairy spell. I'll double check to make sure there's nothing that I've got open that would be causing that, but it doesn't look like I have anything open that would be causing music to be playing, guys, so... I'm not sure. Yes, my co-caster's name is, Kulian, but I don't know where he is. I'm not sure. Okay, he's got his mic muted right now, but we're definitely live and we're going here. Neerrm just got the spell. From the town of Saria there, and we've got Kingdahl in our one of the item caves here. Already making his way along pretty well with leveling up here. Damn it, that's supposed to be off. 1 second, guys. I'll have to fix that again. Kool-Aid, sorry. Sorry, I'm bad. I don't even hear you at all, Kool-Aid, I don't know why, yeah, I don't hear you all in the Discord at all. We see Neerrm finding his way into Palace 2 here, where Kingdahl is finally going to pick up his spell in Saria, which we know to be the spell. Sorry if I'm missing anything right now, guys. I'm trying to just get this all set up while I'm also trying to find out what's going on with Kulain here. Yeah, one thing I've noticed from playing with Neerrm and talking with Neerrm a bit, he always wants to try to get into 2 pretty early on to try to get the dripper enemies. Yeah, that should be. And those blue iron knuckles right now for him are doing pretty nicely with a nice 300 experience every kill.
And how far is he going to grind up?
Usually to attack 4 is where he'll grind up to. Also, welcome finally.
This is Neerrm we're talking about. These guys are giving a lot of experience. We could see him going right to attack 5 here.
Yeah,
300 a pop.
I've just noticed that he usually goes for a 4 and then usually lets the gems take care of the rest, but he might be going higher here.
And what spell did Kingdahl just grab there? Oh, he grabbed
the fairy
now.
spell, yeah. I'm not sure if he picked up an item in the one cave he went into.
He picked up a plunger, I believe. I mean the flute.
Yes. So yeah, Neerrm might be grinding all the way up to 5 here with them being a nice 300 experience. I don't blame him, especially for 1 hit.
Now, Kingdahl opting to not go right into Palace 2, but he's going to continue on with his exploration. We'll see what he finds.
Yeah, definitely. I think he wants to try to find as many items as he possibly can before he goes into anywhere on the overworld.
Yeah.
Whereas Neerrm, I know, if he finds Palace 2 or finds a palace that he knows he can deal with what he has, he's going to go and do it.
Alright, let me see if I can lower my audio a bit here.
Yeah, I've tried to lower you down a little bit through Discord, but it's not really much that gets lowered when you lower the user volume a lot, so we'll try to get that sorted out for you guys here. Wow, Neerrm might be going up even higher.
Okay, I lowered my volume a bit. This should help us.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, Neerrm already going. He's debating going up even higher here. By the looks of things, like looks like he might grind out even to attack 6 even here.
You know, do all your grinding now, and you won't have to worry about it for the remainder of the game.
Well, exactly. He can just burn his gems for the rest of it. You won't have to worry about running back to try to find experience or anything to try to get that next attack level. So definitely might be a smart play on his end here.
But this is giving Kingdahl time to explore, get ahead, find items, and Kingdahl might choose to grind when he gets to Palace 2 as well.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Kingdahl has found his medicine cave here, so we'll see if he gets any nice amounts of experience, a nice item at least out of here.
And Neerrm settles at 634. Now, without any fairy or keys, he probably should just continue exploring the map, but he might go and look for the item now.
He does have fairy.
Oh, okay. He does have the fairy as well.
Yeah. He went and picked up fairy and got spell, and then he found this palace, and he was just like, I'm going in here.
Now, let's see how Kingdahl handles the fairy cave here. Or, I mean, medicine cave.
Yeah, it looks like he made it through no problem, and got himself a nice little cross out of it. Not what you want to see this early on.
Yeah, 2 items not really helpful in the west. The cross and the, what's that? The flute.
Yeah.
Later in the east, hopefully, but the cross is a better item than the flute, certainly, as it will protect you from getting instantly killed from those flying moas.
Finding a beautiful Death Mountain entrance there, where it's just completely boot blocked. Yeah, I'm not sure how much Kingdahl has been playing into the new logic or anything, but since the new logic came out, they added in the fact that drippers can actually drop random different enemies now.
Now, I might be wrong with who won their last match, but they did play in the last Zelda 2 randomizer tournament, and I believe Neerrm took a win over Kingdahl, knocking him down. So it is a personal revenge grudge match against the two again.
Yeah, I don't know exactly which one of them won in their match last time, but I know that they were talking in the IRC a little bit beforehand, saying that they did have a little bit of a rematch here from the last tournament, so...
Excited, he could not sleep. He's running on over 24 hours sleepless at the moment. And we'll see how that comes into play in the race. He's probably just grinding all that experience so he doesn't have to worry about fighting, and you can just run through everything.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Kingdahl does pick up the trophy here in the Heart Cape, so we'll see what spell that gets him.
He's finding the boots on the grass tile there. Definitely a nice find for exploration, especially over here. Might help him out a little bit, especially on Maze Island. It can help out with avoiding encounters and possibly pulling out those items even faster because of it. So Neerrm making a smart move going to grab his down stab now that he's found the town here, so he's going to go pick that up, and that will help him out definitely with exploration and a little bit of the fighting that's going to happen throughout the runs here.
Now, Kingdahl has not found the raft, so that could be in one of the palaces or Death Mountain at this rate. He does have the boots, so he could go back to Death Mountain, but we'll see which choice he opts to go for here. He can still pick up one more spell.
Yeah, he's still got the one more spell he can pick up, and I think there's still two cave, or one cave at least that hasn't been explored yet by him. So.
I haven't seen Trophy Cave yet.
Yeah. So he might be trying to search for that, but that could also quite possibly be blocked by a hammer block. Because there's that cave over there with the hammer block in front of it, so...
Right, so he might be thinking of going into one of the palaces now, and we'll see which one he opts to go for. Or if he goes back to Rudo and gets the third spell.
Looks like he's going to grab his third spell first, and then he'll be heading off.
And quick thinking to use the spell there, he probably would have died from that red Dyra if he did not.
Yeah, it's definitely not something you see very often. People using the spell just to use it as a defensive mechanism against encounters. And we are picking up the fire spell.
Is quickly catching up on the world map with his levels and going through all the same caves that Kingdahl has found. We'll see where Kingdahl decides to go from here. If he goes back into Palace 2, or I'm not sure what the other palaces were. I haven't seen them explored yet.
Yeah, I haven't either. I didn't really catch them because I was busy trying to get some stuff
set. It does look like he is going into Palace 2, so we'll see if he decides to grind in the blue nut necklace here.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting when he sees that it's a blue iron knuckle that drops from it, if he tries to kill it or just decides to avoid it, because some people don't even want to try to mess with the blue iron knuckles. So Neerrm finding his medicine cave here, so he's about to go and pick up his cross. So how have you been enjoying the tournament so far, by the way?
Oh, I'm pretty excited and stoked. I haven't slept myself in the last 24 hours as well. I've got a match coming up tonight, and we have the remainder of all the Zelda 2 randomizer matches for this week coming up today. It's going to be an exciting day, lots of matches, and I don't see how anyone can sleep, but not that you need it for Zelda.
Yeah, I had a hard time sleeping last night too. Like, I'm definitely feeling it.
Yeah. I don't know if Kingdahl realized he was on his last life there, but he didn't refill his magic entering Palace 2, was low on magic, and wasn't able to cast Fairy in that last extension room. So that cost him some time here, it looks. So we'll see if he goes back that way, but he did take a game over.
Yeah. Looks like Neerrm's making pretty quick work of collecting all of his items on the overworld here. Get himself the boots here. I didn't see if he picked up any other items yet.
Yeah.
Other than the cross and the boots, so...
Has Kingdahl picked up his downstab yet, or was
no,
that
he has
just
not.
Neerrm?
That was just Neerrm that picked it up. Alright, so Neerrm has also picked up the trophy. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the help.
And speaking of items, does Neerrm have the flute as well, or is he yet to find that cave?
I am not sure. I'm pretty sure he probably does, but I'm gonna wait until I see a menu and I'm gonna try to catch if he has it or not at that point in time. Because he'll have a menu as soon as he goes into Rudo and picks up that fire spell.
Now, there is one room that is blocked, glove blocked, in Palace 2. We have not seen that room yet, or we have not seen the item room. But Kingdahl is going to continue exploring, and we'll see if he finds the boss, the glove block, or the item along his way.
Okay, so I just want to point out what great programming that rock is right there. Because Neerrm just fairy feeded over an encounter and was able to completely bypass that and actually land on the rock.
I'm sure they walk through that. I thought you would get stuck on it.
Yeah.
But Kingdahl has found the glove block room, so we'll see if he opts to leave the palace, and he does. And Kingdahl going to pick up his down stab next to start.
It looks like Neerrm is finally making his way to go pick up the flute. I think this was the cave that the flute was in anyways.
Yeah, this was the cave where the flute was.
Alright, so Neerrm's basically caught up to all of what has been explored by Kingdahl as well now.
Except for grabbing the fire spell in Rudo, or has he acquired that as well?
I didn't see him going to Rudo to pick up a spell yet, so he has not gone there yet from what I've seen.
And we haven't seen Kingdahl test that fire spell to my knowledge.
No.
It could be linked to one of the other 8 spells, and hopefully for his sake it could be Reflect or Thunder, and that could save him a lot of time in exploring.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if one of those is actually blocked by an item. If you get the one that isn't blocked, it can definitely be a big game changer. It looks like Neerrm has basically done everything on the overworld and collected all the items he could, and now he's going to choose to go through Death Mountain, seeing as it's one of the only options they have available right now.
Kingdahl is going to try one last time going through the last path here in Palace 2. And hopefully this time he does find, hopefully he finds the item this time, and it's worth the trouble he's spending here. He is spending a bit of time going back and forth through here.
Yeah, definitely. We already saw Neerrm pick up that item, and I'm pretty sure what it was just a pea bag, so not really an
So
item.
Kingdahl will be disappointed when he finds the pea bag, but...
Yeah. So Neerrm having no luck finding that hammer cave yet. Gonna have to travel
there's a lot of
deeper.
caves to choose from, so he's got plenty left to go through.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just always nice when you can find that hammer cave right away when you first enter Death Mountain. Thankfully this Death Mountain is actually pretty open.
Since I believe the new 3.0 version, most Death Mountains have been pretty open, with the exception of a few caves.
Yeah, and it's been really nice. Definitely makes Death Mountain a lot less daunting on you when you go into it.
Now, this round, both players do start with the Kingdahl. Next round of the tournament, there will be no Kingdahl to start for both players, and having to go through Death Mountain without a Kingdahl, now that can be an ordeal.
Yeah, definitely. I know I joined in on a race once that had no Kingdahl off the start, and that was just... it was rough when you aren't used to it.
Return with the Swiss flags is the most beginner-friendly of the flags, giving the players not only a Kingdahl, but decent starting stats, and let's see here.
It gives an easier enemy set as well. It doesn't mix together like large and small enemies or anything like that, which is another thing that's really good about it.
And adds extra keys to the palace to make exploring a bit easier, so you don't have to fairy abuse through all the doors. Now, I think Kingdahl wants something else to warp out of the dungeon. But way, he's gonna look for a slime or something.
Yeah, I don't think Kingdahl wants to waste all that experience when he's almost to his next attack level, so I think he's going to try to get his next attack level out way out of here. Neerrm's definitely having his work cut out for him in this Death Mountain, though.
Yeah, the world map encounters on Death Mountain are particularly annoying. They are, one of them spawns an enemy almost right on top of you, and another one has a bunch of ghost moas.
Alright, so we see that Kingdahl just save and quit to get back to the starting palace here.
He's had enough with this.
Yeah. I don't blame him for having enough with Palace 2. He's been not having any luck with finding the boss or anything. I don't think we've even seen the glove blocked room yet from either of the runners here.
If Kingdahl decides to go into Death Mountain himself, or if he goes to try to check for one of the other two palaces. Both players are looking for that raft to gain access to the east and much more exploring options, but it looks like Kingdahl is going to check that palace up to the north here.
And he's going to be really disappointed seeing that it's a great palace on eastern here, or on western here. So he's going to have one less palace over on this side of the world to try to pull items out of. But now with Neerrm doing all that grinding earlier on, he's just burning through levels as much as he can, just trying to get as high of stats as he can throughout this run, it looks like.
Attack 6 is all you need to really be able to fight the Thunderbird and all the bosses in the game without too much difficulty, so he can grab all the magic and life levels as he goes. So it won't be surprising to see him around 688 or higher by the time he gets to the end.
One thing that's nice with how he's doing his leveling also is if he's got enough levels where he feels comfortable, he can just burn a crystal and just up and A and instantly leave that palace without even worrying about the levels or anything. And that can definitely save a lot of time at the end of a palace when you're waiting for like thousands of experience.
Yeah, he's an experienced runner, so he's not going to be afraid going in with a slightly lower stats, but if you have the time to get the levels really early right now like he did, he's probably just going to go gun for it as he gets later into the race if he's feeling worried that he could be behind. But this Death Mountain is
it's
shown to be quite a challenge here, not finding the right cave.
Yeah, it looks like he's starting to question, like, which caves have I seen, which caves haven't I seen? Because it has to be one that I haven't seen yet that I need to go through the one end of it.
Yeah, normally a good indicator is checking to see which enemies are in caves that you haven't killed yet, because most enemies will not respawn when you kill them other than a handful of small enemies here. So with the high attack power, if he's killing all the enemies on his way, he should have an idea of which caves he's going through. Because you do start to run through and loop around the same caves over and over again if you're not paying attention or careful. It is quite easy to get lost in here.
Yep, so Neerrm just has to take another turn around since he found another cave that led him back to the starting area, where you came into Death Mountain again. This was like one of those Death Mountains where it's only one cave that takes you to the cave you need that will take you back to the Hammer Cave.
And for our enjoyment, we're hoping that the hammer is inside one of these caves. So they have to go back looking for either Spectacle Rock or checking the last cave on the west out. But Neerrm takes his first death in actual Death Mountain so far, I believe.
Yep.
Those won't protect you from lava.
And he finds the Hammer Cave.
So he's hoping the raft will be inside. We'll see what it is.
I think he's not going to mind either way, since he knows his way back to the rock most likely by now, with how much he's been on Death Mountain.
But if the raft is not in here, or the hammer to get an item here, he could be starting to worry if his opponent has gone another way and found an item he missed. So he did spend a lot of time, about almost 10 minutes in here. So he really wants this to be the raft or the hammer.
Wow. And he finds a heart container instead.
Oh man, that's brutal. So the raft or the hammer is probably located in the one palace he hasn't explored yet.
Which I can only assume can either be, because I didn't see it. But if Neerrm saw it already and backed out of it, it has to be either one that's glove blocked or possibly
probably 3 or 6. So we will see which one it is as he goes looking for it.
Neerrm finally going to pick up his fire spell here.
So have you done your race for this week, Riku player?
No, I have not. Mine is coming up today.
Who are you scheduled to race against?
That guy named Dig Shake. I don't know about him.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Well, it will certainly be an interesting match, and good luck between you two. But I believe that's one of the last matches of the night that we're going to be having, and after all of our matches today, he will probably restream the new next week's schedule.
Most likely during a random race that sounds like it's usually happening at the end of the week for this tournament. Just everyone that wants to can join in for a random Swiss one, and yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. So Neerrm is in that other palace that we had going on, and it looks like it's Palace 5 actually. So with it being a Palace 5, I can understand why he would want to grind up his levels so high just in case something does happen where he's going to be sent into here.
Yeah, but he's going to want to complete this palace so he doesn't have to come back. So he's probably going to hunt down Guma and the item while he's here.
Yeah, definitely.
The stats, he needs to beat Guma efficiently and quickly, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue for him as long as he doesn't get fairy or key blocked too easily. He does only have...
Good.
Oh, I said he does seem to only have 4 magic containers, so it does not leave a lot of fairy casting to you available. So he's going to want to grab a few extra keys along his way.
Yeah, definitely. And like as it is, like Neerrm's levels are high right now for like where he's at in this run, and he's got plenty enough levels for this just because of the fact that I've seen lots of the matches in this tournament fight Guma at really low levels just because of the fact it's such an early on palace for lots of runners.
Now, if you're here, you're looking for the item, you stumble upon Guma's room on the way, you might as well give him a chance while you're here. He does tend to give a lot of experience and can get you a quick level and get you a level if you can manage to take him out. But Neerrm is going to continue going left, looking for the item, and it should be something he needs.
Well, it has to be either the raft or the hammer at this point in time, since it is the only palace that they have available to go into for getting an item pulled, and the only item they have available without the hammer. Since we've seen
the wrong block here. If he struck the second set of blocks there, he would have gotten a magic jar. But we'll see if he leaves the palace after grabbing the item or if he continues looking for Guma. But yeah, he needs to take a death here in order to get through that door.
So he finds the hammer in that room. Oof.
Well, he knows where both blocks are, so it won't take him too long to go back and check the 2 options he has.
Definitely, it's going to be interesting to see if he chooses to...
Kingdahl is Simon Death Mountain. Yeah, he's hunting down Guma.
Yeah. Kingdahl taking unlucky death in Death Mountain. I can definitely understand why he wouldn't want to be go into Death Mountain without having the items that or Palace 5 without having those levels, and Death Mountain being a little bit more of a better field.
Without the life spell, your time in there is limited. Like, you have no other way of restoring your health in Death Mountain without that life spell.
So it looks like he is going...
Stats.
It looks like he's going to go into Palace 5 here and try to find the item in it.
taking a break, not wanting to waste any more time in Death Mountain could be a good decision here on Kingdahl's part if he takes it. So.
Yeah, definitely. So we found the trophy cave finally, and this is hopefully going to be the raft for these runners. And there it is. Yeah, I don't think Neerrm will be going back for Spectacle Rock now, but I could be wrong. Yeah, definitely that that game over in Death Mountain is definitely going to help him out with just trying to catch up a little bit, and as long as he finds that item room in here pretty quickly, he will have a pretty decent chance. And it looks like Neerrm is going to go back and grab that item out of here, because I think he's seeing this. He's only got 3 more free spells, and he still hasn't gotten Thunder or Reflect.
Now he will get 4 spells on the. You will get 3 spells on the east, guaranteed. 1 more if he finds the child for fair.
Yeah.
But he still has not found out what fire does, to my knowledge, yet. So that could also be Thunder or Reflect, as it did not seem obvious when it was first cast.
Yeah, so we'll get to see. Hopefully, we'll find out.
Unless he wants to 100% the seed. Every Zelda runner loves 100%ing all their seeds, you know.
Oh yeah.
Finding all the items. Good practice for your all keys runs.
So Neerrm finding a magic container. Probably pretty happy to see that.
Yeah,
just in
he's
case
probably gonna be happy with the magic container.
Yeah, since with new Kasua, he might be able to pull an item out of there. I'm pretty sure Neerrm saw it as like, I've already searched Death Mountain enough. I know where that rock is. I can get there easily, and if that's the glove, that could be a big play on my end, and I might actually have a better chance with the rest of the run after that.
Yeah, last week we did have a number of races. My race, where the glove was located in New Kasuto, requiring 7 magic jars.
So Neerrm finding a palace right away, but not going on, or no, sorry, a few desert tiles right away, hoping to find that item from that.
Yeah, one of the desert tiles does contain an item. Normally in the vanilla game, it will contain a heart container, but you might as well look for the desert tile and the water tile while you're exploring through the east here. Easy to miss items.
Yeah, and if you find either of those items, you're off to a pretty decent start on for Eastern. Since I find Eastern's caves were a lot easier for me to learn over the caves on the Western continent, just because they're so much more distinguishable.
Usually people say the opposite, like the Western caves are more distinguishable, like the Eastern caves do look quite the same, or was that what you meant?
Well, like, I had no problem learning the Eastern caves, just because, when I was told exactly which ones were the P-Bag caves...
Oh, you mean the item caves in general?
Yeah, the item caves in general that we have.
The extension caves tend to look all the same, so it's hard to tell which one is the one room cave or the 2-room cave, and
Alright, so Neerrm is going to find his first palace of this side of the world. He finds himself caught into 4 there.
Yeah, Kingdahl's still having some difficulty here with Palace 5. I'm not sure why he reset, if he found a dead end or not, but it looked like he still had a ways to go in there. We will check to see what item is on the water tile on Neerrm's side.
And Neerrm winds up with another magic container, so he's got 6 right now. And he just wants to check out what fire is, and fire is linked to reflect. He's gonna go back up and probably deal with 4 right now, because 4 is usually... I find Karok in it quite easily most times.
Well, 4, all you have to do is go right, and you're probably gonna find one of the items or the boss pretty quickly. It's one of the few palaces where the item and the boss are both located on the right.
Yeah, I think half the palaces have the items on the right, half of them have it on the left, actually, so... Neerrm really wanted that key. I don't blame him for wanting keys with having...
And sadly, Eco Key did not seem available to him at the moment, with both MOAs instead of a flying bubble. Not abuse the BGT strats of trying the Randomizer Eco Key.
Wow, Neerrm finding a quick boss, getting a quick boss find here on Karok.
Now we'll see if he goes back and keeps looking for the item, or if he's gonna just immediately exit out and continue on. And fire was linked to reflect.
Yeah, Neerrm saw one of those.
One less spell he needs to find. Yeah.
Yeah, Neerrm found one of those blue lizard men on this side of the continent. I don't know what they're called, but he found one of them and was like, "Okay, let's find out if fire's actually linked to this."
He found the lizard fellows.
Yeah, he found one of them and he was just like, "No, let's see what this is linked to," and wound up not getting hurt by him, so he was instantly decided to go back into 4 since it was right there. Finding lots of pass-through caves though on this side, but no, he hasn't found any of the P-bag caves yet.
Well, what he wants to find most of all right now is the towns to see if he's going to get the Thunder Spell right away, or if he does have to dig out another item. If he does happen to get the Thunder Spell in one of the towns, he is going to enter full go mode, where he will run through the seed and complete all the palace as quickly as he can, grabbing as few items from there as he needs.
Well, he does still need the gloves, so I think that's why he's searching.
Right.
Because it's easier to grab an item off the overworld than try to have to, rather than having to go through a palace to find it. He does have quite a few towns right around here, so... And if he goes to New Kasuto, he has 2 free items in there automatically. Or most likely 2 free items right now.
He has 2 towns to choose from, so we'll see which ones he finds and what spells he gets lucky enough to get.
Alright, so he finds Naburu, and he's gonna go and get the water for the lady to get the spell here. Oh, he ends up with a shield spell.
Not exactly what he was looking for, but that could play into helping him later into the run as it continues, but his levels are high enough that it's probably not really necessary at this point.
Yeah, definitely. Alright, find Darunia, so he's not even going to do anything here. Just sees it, walks in a little ways, and walks back out.
Yeah, if he needs to, he can always come back later, but hopefully he does not require the upstep to get through the Great Palace. There is a possibility that it could be, but he can hold off on that decision until later.
Yeah, definitely. He's still got lots of palaces, and I know if he finds the kid, he will go and grab it, but if not, he might not even worry about going and grabbing that at all. And just hope for him not to need it. Alright, Neerrm finding his 3rd town here, and he finds himself New Kasuto.
He's gonna be pretty happy to find this town. Let's see what he finds inside.
Sadly, he's not gonna be happy about the old lady in Kasudo here.
7 jars?
7 jars. Alright, so...
Well, that just means the glove is behind there. Kingdahl finally making his way to the item room.
Oh, and
his fingers right now that he doesn't have to go back into Death Mountain, and he will be happy to find the hammer.
So now I'm sure that Neerrm is starting to worry a little bit here, since he has got... he already beat Palace 4, and he finds Reflect in as the spell in New Kasudo here.
I don't think he's worrying. He didn't spend a whole lot of time in 4, so it won't take him long to go back through that. And he did mostly clear the western continent, so he can go back and look for... Well, he will have to go back, so he doesn't have a lot of backtracking to do, even if he doesn't get the spell he wants here. He's on a good pace.
Yeah, he's on good pace. It's just knowing that you have to still pull out that pull out a magic item somewhere, and there's a pretty high chance of it at this point. You got 1 in 3 chance of not having to pull out that item.
He's just going to grab everything he finds along the way until he's guaranteed to have everything he needs.
Yeah. Finds himself at Maze Island and decides to go and search around here, since it is a quick, easy 2 items in here. We have Kingdahl starting up a Guma fight here.
So round 2 against Goon. The slide with your momentum you can get out if you have good timing, but usually most players like to learn the figure 8 attack where they jump as they strike him, so that gives him a bit more mobility to escape. But he's going to keep him pressed up against the wall here and slowly take a few hits of him off the screen. As long as he doesn't kill him off the screen, he will be fine.
Alright, Neerrm finding his first item on Death Mountain, and he finds himself a kid.
Which he's going to be happy to find, because he knows where Darune is, and he doesn't have to spend a whole lot of time if he doesn't get the Thunder spell in Old Kasudo. But good job, Kingdahl, taking out Guma there. It does not give him enough experience for that extra attack level. He will be disappointed in that, so we'll see if he takes another magic level here, or if he burns the gem.
Alright, Neerrm finding his final cave here. His final drop in here, and he finds himself the glove.
I think you're like about 20 seconds ahead of us here, so for the suspense of the audience, maybe hold off about 10 seconds before revealing about what's found. I'm not sure if it's just me here.
I shouldn't be ahead, because what I'm seeing and I'm commentating on is exactly what's happening on the restream, so might just be you that's getting spoiled for it because of it. Sorry.
It's bad.
Alright, so it looks like Kingdahl has finally found himself all the way to the raft. And with Neerrm having his
very soon, very quickly, he's probably going to clear this palace. Oh, I'll be okay. Alright. Alright, so I'll refresh my cast then, and hopefully that catches me up.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, Neerrm making his way through a Palace 3. So that means in the Valley of Death and on Eastern, there's going to be a Palace 2 and 6 still to find.
Yeah, my connection right now isn't the greatest on Discord. Connections in Canada can crap out pretty easily and pretty badly, but this is both Riku and mine's one of our first commentators here, so we're still a bit of an experience, so we could come off as a bit robotic. I'm trying to improve here.
No, I know what they're talking about for the robotic because I hear everything. Like, what I hear is what's going to the going through the stream, and what I'm hearing is like sometimes you're just like cutting out and turning like it sounds like a robotic voice because of it. That's just a connection thing. There's nothing we can do about that.
Yes, I'm not a robot in any way, shape, or form at all.
All right, so Neerrm finding himself his Rebanak fight. And making pretty quick work of it. But Neerrm's gonna walk his way out of here since he knows that Darunia is right by Maze Island. He's gonna go and turn in that kid probably and go and see what. Oh, he's gonna move his way up. Just walk past it and get blocked.
Yeah, Neerrm right now is probably going to complete Palace 1 and 6 on the east before he goes back to the west. He's only going to want to go back there once, and that's just to complete the last Palace 2 and get 5. Out of here. But
I don't remember him killing Guma. I think he left before killing him. Didn't he?
Right.
So he's still got to go back into both of his palaces over there, but I think he's seeing it as like GP is over on that side anyways. So I may as well just leave it and come back afterwards and have a quick Palace 2 and 5 and then go and do it. So Neerrm going for his upstab here now.
Right. And mm-hmm.
Kingdahl finally make his way over to the eastern continent. Boots definitely look like they're going to help out on the eastern continent quite a bit.
Boots have already been a big help, especially on the west, avoiding the bridge counter, getting right to the boulder block cave. Some seeds, the boots have not been very helpful as there's not a lot of blocked caves from the water, but this seed, they have been particularly useful in exploring, so both runners are pretty happy to have the boots.
So Neerrm finding a jump spell in Darunia. It's going to be a little bit rough.
Leaving him only one more spell to find here on the east.
Yeah, and
from Old Kasuto, so he's going to make a beeline exploring for that.
Well, also looking for his other palaces he hasn't found yet. looks like he found his old Kasuto, so now we're gonna get to see exactly what this spell is and find out exactly the last 2 spell locations. So that means
what's it gonna be? 50-50.
He finds a life spell, and he's gonna stuck having to go to search. He's gonna be stuck searching for that final item now to get the thunder spell.
So the Medicine of Life, we still have yet to find, I believe, 2 item caves, and he still has items up to find in a few palaces.
Yeah, he hasn't searched any palaces past 2 and 5 for items, so might have to backtrack into possibly.
It's possible that the Medicine of Life was in Palace 4, and he could put off re-exploring that for a while now. So if Kingdahl goes into Palace 4, fully clears it, and the Medicine of Life is in there, Kingdahl could catch up quite a bit here.
Kingdahl coming in, and I think he knows that fire is linked to reflect.
So he's going to take his own stab at Palace 4, and we'll see if he stays in long enough to find the item, or if he just kills the boss like Neerrm and exits.
And Neerrm finding one of the P-Bag caves on this side of the world, so that's going to be definitely something to see if he gets the item he's looking for. And disappointing little digger in there.
A little digger in every run.
Yep. Alright, so Kingdahl found his Karok pretty easily in here. It looked like it was pretty linear to get to Karok in this palace if you went straight to the right off the get-go.
Right, he didn't find any dead ends. It was immediately a few screens to the right, so we'll see if he decides to stay in here or if he leaves. Now, from what we know, it's probably a good idea for him to explore and find the item so far, but we'll find out shortly what he chooses to do, and if Neerrm just stumbles upon the Medicine of Life.
He decides to just walk away as well.
Like, at this moment in the game, I think I would walk away from the palace and just continue on and do some more exploring, but he doesn't know that the Medicine of Life is required at this moment.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of exploring and items to find still.
It's definitely
now,
the
Neerrm
option.
finds a P-Bag on the desert tile, which was one of the item locations, so that's one down, and he's probably going to explore this palace fully, hoping to find the Medicine of Life in here. And we'll see if it's 3 or 6.
It's 6, since
And
he already
it's
did his
6.
3. He found 3, that was the one that was on Maze Island was 3.
Right, okay.
But yeah, we'll see how far Neerrm decides to dig into this palace. I know Palace 6 would be one of my...
Oh, he's going to go all the way. He's going to look for the item. He does not want to have to come back here. And he's going to kill the boss. Like, at this moment, he knows he's missing one crucial item, and he doesn't want it to weigh on his mind that he could have missed it in this palace if he just clears the boss and leaves.
Neerrm making some use of the life spell in this palace here.
Now, one of the good reasons for Neerrm to keep fighting enemies still is the Psycho Magic Jars, because he does need to be able to cast spells like Life and Fairy to help him progress through the palace. And that's typically why I like to keep fighting enemies, even if I'm past the experience limit, but just for the extra magic chance. It's about a 50-50 every 6 enemies.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to have that extra little bit of magic every once in a while, when you need it especially. Neerrm doesn't have to worry quite so much about for fairy spells anymore, since he does have the magic key. But it's still definitely going to be something he wants to search for. Sorry, I'll fix that for you guys. There.
Now, is this a loop that Neerrm has found? And I think it was. So he realized he was in a loop and he's going back down the elevator. It's easy to catch yourself going through a loop time after time again, wondering why the hallway isn't ending. Backtrack to this elevator he has not checked yet, and he's going to go down.
And he finds the item room.
Yeah. Kingdahl will be picking up his upstab now, but will be disappointed that he does have to come back here, or will come back here for the spell when he finds the child.
Alright, so we get to find out what Neerrm is finally getting to pick up in here, and it's just a heart container. Thankfully, with it being a heart container, he's not going to be too upset that he went through it, because it will give him a little bit extra survivability, but it's definitely not what he was looking for.
Well, it clears off one item on the checklist. Like, he was going to find this item regardless of what it is. He wanted it to be the medicine, but now he only has to focus on finding Barba and continuing on.
Yeah, and right now with his current predicament, he's only missing the one spell item that he needs, and right now he's only got 2 items left on the overworld to pick up. He's just missing one of the P-Bag caves on this side of the continent, and he's also missing a the 7 magic container required item in New Kasuto.
Now, so we haven't seen Palace 1 yet, so it's probably located over in Death Valley, so he's probably going to head there next after he completes this palace.
Neerrm finding a nice little loop back up to the top of the drops. Neerrm just decided to take the drop here, even though he knows it could loop somewhere that he has been already.
But he has to check right now. There's still one hole he's missing, and
yeah. And he definitely got lucky finding that one off that drop there.
Yeah, and Barba's gonna be on this way. He's gonna find him.
Yeah.
Probably after Rebo here.
Yep, and there's our Barba screen.
Yeah, sometimes you know when you're gonna find Barba.
Looks like we're gonna see him jackhammer Barba here.
Well, he's got an extra life. It won't matter if he messes it up, but He just needs the gem for the experience. Will he jackhammer again, though? That is the question.
Well, he knows he has one more life left, so he's gonna try for it again anyways, and try to get as much damage in as he can. And he's not gonna try to play it quite as risky for the second time through.
So Kingdahl is picking up both of his items in New Kasuto. I believe one of them...
He's only picking up the one because he can't pick up the one from the magic containers right yet. He's gonna pick up that spell, and he's also... I'm assuming he went and picked it up, the spell tower item as well. Going to see him not.
What was inside the spell tower? I didn't see what item it was. I just saw him going in.
It was the magic key that he found in there.
So let's add magic key to his list here.
Yep, and Neerrm finding the last P-bag cave now, so this could be a big sigh of relief for him if it is the medicine. Finds the final heart container.
Well, you can't beat the game without finding all the heart containers, all else. This is starting to... Yeah.
This whole round 2 of this of the Swiss rounds here has been all basically 100% seeds.
Oh, it's what our viewers want. So the game delivers.
We have not seen Palace 1 yet, but Neerrm is going his way right to it right now because it's going to be what's in the Valley of Death. Alright, so Kingdahl finding his kid inside Maze Island here. And we're definitely going to see him not do any palaces.
Neerrm has to be a little bit careful on his last life. He does not want to die here, get reset back to start. So, but he does have enough magic to ferry through all these caves, assuming there's only one. And it was a short death valley, so... If there had been another scream, he might have been in a bit of trouble here, but he's going to make it through without any difficulty. This is Palace 1 for Neerrm.
So Neerrm knows by now that this is either going to be the item he needs, or it's going to be a magic container in this palace here.
For that extra attack level at the entrance to Palace 3, I would say just go right in, but he might be worried about dying. He might be on his last life.
So Neerrm making
Oh, yeah, shield skeleton and the... What was that, Neerrm?
Neerrm is making quick...
Sorry,
Riku, yeah. Neerrm is making quick work of this Palace 1 here. Making sure he searches every way he can. Since he knows that he needs to pick up everything in it. And I'm surprised that Kingdahl is actually going to...
Well, in one of the actual these islands, I hope he just having to back out and in to get the palace here.
Yeah, and he finds the medicine in Palace 1 here.
Alright, so Neerrm has everything he needs now
Yeah.
to be finished or path.
Yeah, so once Neerrm puts in his gem here, he's just going to be going and most likely doing a save and quit after he gets his level here, and going back to Western to finish up.
At this stage in the run, I'm not sure what Kingdahl can do to catch up and close the gap, but the Great Palace has been known to throw a bunch of loops and tricks and waste a lot of time here, but
It's gonna
until then, I don't think Neerrm is going to have too much difficulty.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for Kingdahl to catch up at this point in the match. He's already he's still got 4 palaces to do, and he hasn't explored any of them other than he's explored a little bit of 2. Full dig shake and full everything, yes. Only thing he's missing is magic containers, and the only palace he didn't pull the item out of is 4 in this entire run. Maybe he didn't pull the item out of 3 also. I don't remember if we saw the item room for 3 or not.
Thunder is a powerful screen-wide attack which damages all the enemies based on your mostly based on your magic level, and it is required to weaken the Thunderbird so you can attack him.
Alright, Kingdahl finally finding his glove here, and gonna be running to go and try to finish up these palaces here.
The few seeds where you get fire linked to thunder, that is one of the seeds you want to jack up your magic level as high and quickly as you possibly can, so you can spam that thunder spell on every single enemy you find.
I absolutely love those seeds. I had one of those seeds one time when I was just starting out. I wish I would get one of those seeds now. It is fun going into Great Palace and having like fire only cost 8
MP thunder spell.
And yeah, just constantly thundering everything.
Okay. When you have 124 magic at the time going in there, it's fun time.
So
with the glove back in hand, Kingdahl is going back into Palace 3, wishing he had grabbed it before going in here, but at least he knows he has one of the required items he needs and only needs the Thunder spell.
Here I'm finishing off the boss of Palace 2 quite quickly here, and it's going to be heading up to Palace 5 now to quickly find Goom in there. Should be a quick find as long as he remembers how the what ways he's gone in the palace before.
Yeah, that's why I think he should have completed it when he first was there. He had everything required to get through it and complete it. Now he has to remember which ways he's gone, and hopefully his memory is good enough to help him get back through the cave palace quickly and find Gooma.
Give me a second and I'll grab you a link for that. So there's a link
so
to
you can see on that tournament schedule there, we have a bunch of races set up back to back today. I believe there's another race actually going concurrently with ours right now.
Yes, there is. There's the Bent Glass Tube and Perez J. Polk match going on right now.
Over on Scorpion Max's channel.
Yep. And then...
So I'm unsure how that match is going, but coming up next, we will have Ryan and Sleepy Mario over on Neerrm's channel after this race. But until then, we'll keep going here. So not only is Neerrm gone to sleep, he has to commentate another game after this before he's allowed to rest. I believe I will be as well. Oh, God damn it.
Alright, so Neerrm making his way through 5 right now. Should be coming up on Gooma pretty soon here.
There are a lot of rooms in Palace 5. It is the longest next to the Great Palace. Sometimes Palace 5 can even take longer than the Great Palace, depending on how the rooms are set up.
So it looks like Kingdahl finished up his Palace 3 there. And moving on into his Palace 6 here. So we're gonna get to see if Kingdahl here was on the same wavelength as Neerrm, trying when he finds the item room here.
Yeah, Kingdahl, I believe, is going to look for the item, and even if he finds Barba first, he will go back and look for the item. He does not want to have to come back here now, knowing that he does need the medicine of life.
Yeah, definitely. But Neerrm having just no luck finding Guma in Palace 5. Having to do another up and A and go back in and try some other paths here. He should be almost out of dead ends by now.
I think he's regretting not having completed this the first time he was through, because Kingdahl did not have to explore far after finding the item to find Guma.
I think probably the thought going through Neerrm's head when he finally found the hammer in 5 is just like, oh, I'm probably so far behind right now because of this. I think that's why he's just like, no, I need to make sure I'm going to have like a surefire high amount of levels so I can kill off Guma quickly when I come back.
Yeah, but his level is still the exact same as when he left Palace 2. He's only been taking magic and life levels.
Yeah, but if you can survive more, you can stay.
Fight Guma. Yeah.
But like that life levels
survive more than 2 hits.
Exactly, and he can be a lot more aggressive with Guma now because of that. Which I'm sure we're going to see a pretty aggressive Guma fight come out from Neerrm here. Like, I think that's what went through Neerrm's mind, is that
Kingdahl has found the loop, and he knows to escape it, so he didn't spend too long in that loop either.
Alright, so I think Neerrm's finally on the right way to find Guma here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was the right path. I remember Kingdahl going through these rooms before finding Guma.
There's that really aggressive Guma fight that I was talking about that was probably going to happen here. And Neerrm will be on his way over to the Great Palace now.
So depending on how long the Great Palace is, we could see the run finished within the next 5 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, so hopefully,
Kingdahl only does have 2 more palaces left to finish. He's not that far behind. It's probably not enough to catch up to Neerrm at this rate, even if Neerrm takes all the wrong decisions here. But Kingdahl will go through Palace 1 next and find the Medicine of Life. And he won't have to go back through Palace 5.
But you will still have to do that quick Palace 2 trek where the boss was hidden behind some glove block.
Now, Kingdahl is probably about 12 minutes behind at this rate, but and I'm not sure if he can make up that time with Neerrm's advantage here, but we will see.
Kingdahl is making quite quick work of 6 though, so
Barba was behind in the next room here.
yep. He's gonna take a nice safe Barba fight here.
This Barba has a lot of health. Usually at even attack 6 you can damage him after the first few hits, but no, he's at full max health going into this fight.
Alright, Kingdahl gets through that pretty safely there. Gonna be going and turning in the key and turning in his gem here and closing up the gap a tiny bit.
Actually, Kingdahl has not gone back to Neerrm yet to cash in the child, so he might do that after finishing Palace 1. Or he might just reset back to start and just hope it's in Maido.
So Kingdahl finding
Now,
the
is this the
key.
drop that Neerrm needs? I think Neerrm has been here, so he's going to try and go back a few lefts, but, or not. Yeah, this is when the Great Palace can get a bit tricky, when it throws you back down in an area you've already been and you haven't mapped out all too well.
Yeah, I know sometimes you can get just really unlucky and have like what happened to me in my first tournament matches. I had a drop room that put me backwards, but I didn't realize it put me backwards because I didn't see that drop room yet.
Yeah, that's back, where you haven't explored yet, it makes you think you're ahead until you go up that ladder and you realize you're all the way back at the start.
Alright, so Kingdahl is in his Palace 1 now. Let's see if he actually let's see if he actually tries to find that item room in here, if he just decides to go for the boss and hope that the kid has the right spell for him. So them taking lefts as he's going through this definitely shows he's going to be trying to find that item, which we know is going to be definitely the right play for him to do, since finding that item will give him the Thunder spell. And Neerrm running into his Thunderbird here. Neerrm having taken a death at Thunderbird because of the fact of not having the enough magic to cast Thunder to be able to start damaging him. But Neerrm making nice, easy, quick work of Thunderbird here, and he'll be moving on past this to hopefully find Darklink pretty quick. Yeah. So Kingdahl's choosing same equip after picking up that item, so he's probably going to just go and grab the spell from here and hope and realize he gets Thunder and continue on, and after that to GP after doing 2. We see Neerrm on his Darklink fight. So that will pretty much seal it now. And we have Neerrm finishing with a time of 1:33:10. So congrats to him. And we'll see if he wants to hop in here and give us his thoughts on the run. Alright, so Neerrm is going to be stopping in here. Hello, Neerrm.
Howdy.
So how did you feel about that run there?
Definitely got my money's worth on that one.
Yeah, congratulations on your win, Neerrm.
Thank you. It was a pretty epic seed there.
That's seed of it.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, I was just asking you to take us to the seed. Right away at the beginning of the run, you farmed up quite a bit of levels in Palace, too.
Had to live up to my namesake, man. But yeah, having blue iron knuckles die in 2 hits and give 300 a pop, I can't pass that up. And
yeah,
it actually
did you pray
really
to get those 300 experienced blue knuckles.
It sure wasn't like Dick Shake, because the rest of the seed was total garbage. Yeah, that was a very interesting seed. For the fact that Hammer was in 5, it wasn't even Raft in 5, and it's just Hammer blocking Raft. It's just like the ultimate punch in the face.
We were wondering why you were going through Death Mountain before 5, or why you what your decision was there. But turns out going through 5, you did find the hammer and having to go back through the Death Mountain.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what I was gonna find. I figured Death Mountain. I had peeked in before, and I saw like 10 caves. So I was like, oh, it's probably right here. And then so I peeked back in, and lo and behold, it was a magic cave. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So it did take a while to find, but once you're there, you're committed, so you might as well do it anyway.
Yeah, just one more cave, just one more. Kingdahl spent quite a lot of time in there. He did not farm in Palace 2 like you, and eventually he ran out of lives and died and decided to just go through Palace 5 at the time.
Oh, it's definitely the right call. It was something else, man.
So we were wondering, why didn't you fight Guma when you very first entered Palace 5? You had all the tools and the levels you needed to win at that point. Kingdahl did actually go through and fight Guma at attack 4 and 3 life.
So I figured, so I'd already been in a 2, and I thought 2 was glove blocked. It turned out that wasn't the case. And so I figured, I don't have glove, and I'm probably gonna have to come back west anyways, and GP is also in the west. So I figured I would just finish the east, and then when I come back and I have, because at the time I was only able to ferry through one door before I had to die, in terms of magic level and fairy level. So it would have been a real pain to try and navigate 5, because I had no idea where Guma was. It turned out he was actually ended up being like right by the item, which was kind of funny. But it was a real, I don't know. It was just a kind of an executive decision, just to say, you know what, I'll come back when I have higher levels and I'm able to get through doors easily. I'm able to explore a little bit easier.
But you did forget a bit of the palace along the way and ended up having to re-explore a bunch of the rooms going through again, but...
I sure did. Yeah, it was definitely an interesting seed. Finding Glove on Death Mountain was like a huge sigh of relief, especially because yesterday, we had all these, 7 magic container glove blocks. I think there were 3 of them yesterday. And so it was like, oh no, not again.
So you meant finding the glove on Maze Island, not Death Mountain.
Yeah, Maze Island.
Right.
So that was a welcome reprieve, and then finally, I'm like, okay, well, the rest of the seed won't be too bad, and then, I get all the spells, and I get the kid, and I'm like, okay, it's gotta be here, no.
Yeah, everyone's gonna 100% their seeds.
It's the theme of the week.
Yeah, find all the items.
Yeah,
the game will give you the final item at the end.
It's been all of these seeds, almost all of these races have been pretty brutal in terms of having some kind of spell item blocking something. The spell item's kind of buried. Fortunately, I thought about going back into 3 and 4 while I was in the area, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna clear dungeons and hopefully the items in there. And thankfully, it wasn't one. And so I didn't have to do any backtracking. So
right, because you left 4 right after you killed the boss. You figured that you probably had lots of exploring left to go on the east, and...
Yeah, both 3 and 4 I didn't get the item out of, and at the time, I was just like, oh yeah, I'll just blow through this really quick, and then we'll just go on my merry way. I don't need any items. The chance of the thunder being blocked by something I don't have is so low, because I have a kid, and I think I had 3 spells to find at that point, but man... This game really knows how to rub it in.
To get back to. So if the item wasn't in Palace 1, where would you have gone from there?
I probably would have dug 3 or 4, or Nukasudo, depending, because the item was probably a
7
jar.
Magic jars. We wanted it to be a Nukasudo for it to be the 7 magic jar.
Yeah, because the only 2 items I had left that weren't the medicine were 2 jars. So I was either getting a jar or I was getting the medicine. So I would have either looped back to Nukasudo and done 3 and 4, and that would have been it. Because those are the only spots I have left to look at.
Yeah, you got to the east about, 8 minutes ahead of Kingdahl, and since then you've just kept the lead the whole time. Your levels helped you explore and make quick clear of the west, outside of being lost in Death Mountain for a while. But once you got the lead, you never really gave it up at all for the race. He took about the same path that you did through everything, but you were always just a step ahead of him.
Yeah, those drippers, you find them early enough, they really come in handy for sure.
Yeah, there was a few times where Kingdahl did actually have to go back and farm for experience in a few of the entrances of the palaces, trying to get that last attack level there. But you were just able to continue on and just take whatever levels that you got along the way.
Yeah, it's always a nice luxury to not have to worry about going back to grind or anything like that, you know, especially when you start out 6-3-4 before you have anything placed. You can just kind of go anywhere you please and not have to worry about anything.
Yeah, it's one of the points that I brought up when we were commentating here, is that with you having those high levels right off the get-go, you don't even have to worry about going back through the palaces at all to grind for any experience if you are just like 100 short because the boss didn't drop enough and not have to burn a gem. You can just burn them all anyways at that point. You know, just use them, take the levels, and be on your merry way every palace.
Yep, that was the game plan.
And it worked out quite well for you. I guess maybe you were a bit worried at the beginning of the seed that if the glove and all the required items were found early, Kingdahl could have been finding them and taking, because he explored the world map, had all the item keys before you left Palace 2.
Yes and no. I know grinding does take a little bit of time, but at the same time, you know, it kind of pays off over the course of the seed, so... the only time I guess I really got concerned that I was, you know, wasting time was right at the end there in 5, because I was doing laps in 5, and I found the same dead end 2 or 3 times, and I was just like, you know what, that's not a good thing. So I feel like ultimately I played it okay. Like, I don't feel like I played great. And then Death Mountain, I also wasted a lot of time, but also I felt like I had a pretty good shot.
Items. Yeah. For all the items you found, time of around, what was your time? 1:33:10. That's about the average time for finding all the items that we've been finding these runners posting right now. Like almost full clearing a seed is about an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was fun. That was probably one of the more challenging seeds I've seen in the past, you know, couple of weeks of races. It's not every day
So
you have to
weren't
dip
falling
in.
asleep at all, because you haven't had any sleep in, what was it, 20 hours or something, 24 hours? You've just been staying awake?
No, I went to bed at like 5 or something, and then I woke up at like 7, so I got 2 hours of sleep. But I'm good to go now. I'm awake. I'm energized. I got to play Zelda 2 Randomizer.
Commentate your next game. You do have a commentate coming up.
I'm good. That's in a couple hours. I should be good to go.
Don't sleep in for that one. Just, I know you want to catch a few Z's. Don't oversleep it.
I'll be there. Don't you worry. Actually, Riku, I wanted to ask you. I sent you a message on Discord. Did you want to trade? Because I know your match is immediately after your restream later.
I was gonna get myself something to eat after this one, and then I was gonna just be prepared for the next one. Then I don't mind doing a restream then right going into my match anyways.
Okay.
Gives me a good chance to watch and like refresh on a few things while watching a match and commentating on it. So it won't take me long to get my stuff set up and everything. So yeah, I don't mind doing that. I don't mind doing the later one still.
Man, it looked like Kingdahl was on the right path.
Coming up, yeah, you did have an up and A yourself when you got a bit lost here in the dungeon. Then you went straight for the correct path to Thunderbird.
Yeah, I saw Kingdahl take the drop and then take the left, but then he decided, no, not today. I'm not sure what that was about. Oh well. Yeah, go ahead and plug the future races here.
For sure. So
Alright, let me just pull up the...
Looking at this here, it looks like at 1 o'clock today, we're going to have Sleepy Mario against Ryan 7. That's going to be on Neerrm's channel. Then at 2 o'clock this afternoon, there's going to be Vonki against Enchantress of Numbers, and that's going to be right here for you guys. Be sure to stay tuned for that. Then after that, we've got a triple header coming up on 8 Geno's channel, and it's going to be Dig Shake and me, followed by Simple Dude against Angry Larry, and followed by Kulain and Raikou Rider.
I'll close out the night. Yeah, 8 o'clock. Me versus Raikou Rider to be the last race of this round of the tournament.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a lot of Zelda 2, man.
That is a lot of Zelda 2 today.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and duck out.
I'm probably gonna watch all the matches. I haven't slept at all, but thanks for joining us, Neerrm, and good luck for you the rest of the races. And hopefully we get matched up against each other sometime. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It's gonna get more cutthroat as the pack separates out a little bit more. But thanks again, Riku, for restreaming, and both of you for commentating. Appreciate it.
No problem. And
yeah, no problem.
You have yourself a good rest of your day, and good luck on your restream in a few hours here.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we still have Kingdahl exploring the Great Palace, looking for the Thunderbird.
Yeah, it looks like he's having a little bit of troubles finding his way through here.
To actually draw maps out when they are going through the Great Palace so that they don't get lost and they don't run through the same rooms again. Because if you get mistaken for a loop, there is a loop or two that this dungeon can throw at you. It is possible to really get confused as to where you are and to rerun through the same rooms over and over again. And all of us have been through there at one point and wish we paid a bit more attention, but...
Yeah, I know my most common loop that I get confused about seeing is these rooms with the elevators in them that go upwards with the pillars, because they all look the exact same, but they all have different enemies. So you're just like walking through, and and it's hard to realize that they loop unless you're paying attention to every enemy and where they show up in them.
And sometimes, like, you could just see, like, a blue chicken in one of these rooms, and you see a blue chicken in another one of these rooms, and assume you've been in a loop, as what happened to Larry in his last race. He thought he was in a loop because he saw the recurring enemy, but it was just two of the exact same looking rooms that were different.
Yeah. And that's one of the big problems with GP, and like, it's sometimes hard to wrap your head around exactly which ways you need to go in it.
In the flags that we're playing right now, this is only a short GP, which is around 28 to 30 rooms. But without the settings that we're playing on right now, regular GP is around 57 rooms.
Yeah, so I'm sure when you're playing with the I've never played with this without the shortened GP, but I'm sure without the shortened GP, it definitely feels like a extremely long trek through here. And like, I can almost guarantee that if you aren't paying attention to where you've been, it's gonna be a lot harder in that one, because you could probably loop around a lot easier in that one.
Right, just as he just did right now. He's looped back to this room a few times, and he does not like re-seeing this room over and over again. But I believe he was supposed to go left here, and he opts to take the left. Or perhaps not? I haven't been paying a lot of attention as to what the correct path was in this dungeon, but I believe he was supposed to go left there.
I'm not sure.
But I could be mistaken.
He's definitely having a lot of trouble trying to just get through here, and like this is one of the palaces that is definitely like it's the gatekeeper of having a good time in learning the randomizer. Because if you aren't paying enough attention and you aren't realizing that you're looping around constantly, you're gonna find yourself wandering aimlessly for like a good 20 minutes, just even looking for Thunderbird. But I think
we've seen it.
What didn't Neerrm?
We've seen a handful of runners actually.
Sorry, I'm just trying
to go on. Sorry.
I think Neerrm went through that room that he just decided to turn away from in order to find Thunderbird. But I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, we've seen a number of runners actually lose races, even in this tournament, because they got lost in the Great Palace, and that gave their opponent time to catch up and get by them.
Well, I know for my first match, the reason why I won it is just because my opponent, the Countess, didn't realize that you could actually use just upstab and fairy to get through the room that you would normally need jump for to get through in GP here.
But it does look actually like Kingdahl has found, I think, the correct path here. So it shouldn't be long before... No, he has to go left from falling here. Yeah, he is going to go left. This time, he should be on the correct path if he goes left and not takes up the elevator. He's seen this room enough times.
Honestly, it seems like he's having a really hard time just trying to remember how it's mapped out, what he's seen so far, what he hasn't seen so far.
But shoutouts for Kingdahl. He actually did pretty well throughout the seed, given that he had lower attack levels. He was able to take out Guma at attack 4, and he did run through most of the seed at... Oh, did he just cut his stream right there?
Yeah, he did.
Let's see here.
He did just cut his stream.
Okay, let's see if he wants to join us at all. He did run a pretty good run, if it wasn't for getting lost in Death Mountain for quite a long time, and...
Oh, he left that race channel pretty quickly here, so I don't know if he will want to or not.
He was probably disappointed in himself. He didn't run that bad of a run. For all the items you had to grab so far, other than his GP, he probably saw that Neerrm had finished the race, and that probably threw off his concentration.
Yeah.
But he did run a pretty good race until then, like...
Alright, guys.
It was good commentating with you.
For sure. We're gonna see if that other match is still going on right now. And if they are, we're gonna
SJ Polk versus Bent Class Tube.
Yeah, is that still going on Scorpion Max's stream, or that one all done up and finished up too?
It shows that Press J Polk has forfeited. I don't know why. Bent Glass has not finished the race, so this is just a free win. We'll still link the broadcast.
Alright, so Scorpion Max has actually dropped the broadcast, so we're just gonna go ahead and give the host to Bent Glass Tube while he finishes up his run here. So yeah, enjoy the rest of that
exactly
run, guys.
What happened. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will have more matches later, and we're going to repost the schedule.
Also, guys, before I give a host here, be sure to follow the runners and commentary, which is me and Kool-Aid, who posted the schedule just above.